There's my little intro. This is Darth, Pedro again, and here we have the central command window where we left off. We were going to talk about communications, and just to give you an idea how I got started on that, we'll show you how we view all these items. If I click on one of these colonies, this is my home colony, it says red alert. There's aliens present in this system. My goodness. Well, here's the information for my local orbit. You saw some of that information there, but this is a summary from turn 31. And but if I go to system data here, I get a longer list, and it shows star A in orbit 1, and here's orbit A1 and orbit probe 1 data. So we have each orbit. There's probe data. Had to issue commands to get this data. You'll get a minimal amount of data if you don't. It's mostly obsolete though, so it's a good idea to issue probe orders as often as you have the ability. Keep your update on your intelligence reconnaissance information. But if we scroll down here, we can see that orbit 11 is kind of interesting. Now the thing about a star system is you can have 10 orbits around each star. You may have 5 stars, 10 orbits around each one. The 11th orbit though encircles the whole system, and that is where ships that are traveling to a star system will arrive, in orbit 11. So it's kind of like the gateway to the system. So there's always a lot of activity, it seems like, in orbit 11. Either a player may be setting up defensive ships there to intercept anybody that does enter the system, or somebody just arrived there and they leave a ship there, like this guy here. It looks like ship 547. The name of the ship is Envoy 14. Well, that's an envoy. It's kind of sounds like a diplomatic mission. And 14 happens to be my player ID or race number. But the ship's owned by aliens. Gives you a mass, it gives you tactical XYZ coordinates. And then it has an intensive probe. Okay. I gave an order for an intensive probe of this on turn 30. Last time I probed it intensively. But the ship's still there, and it's owned by player 9, or was at that time. And it tells you the non-percent numbers are log 10. So there's a mass of 5.4 total mass, you can see here. That's a log 10. So it's under a million, I would imagine. Could be close to a million in mass. Population 2.1. Structure 6.1. Space available 4.6. Have identified the 6 most massive items in order by total mass. Structures 50.99%, etc. You can see the numbers there. So he has sensors. He has 10%, almost 11% of his ship is weight or mass is sensors, big eyeballs, and then hyper engines, space drives so he can move, and fuel. A little bit of food. Probably got just a little bit of population, just enough to staff it, keep it running. And he's been sitting there, hasn't moved. Well, anyway, this ship, remember, ship number 547. So when you're writing orders for this turn, you have a thing called the order writer. It works on actors. You have order types, but you also want to basically decide what you're going to write the order for, and sometimes it may relate to another. Like if you're going to shoot at somebody, you have an actor here that's yours, and the enemy actor will show up over here. So let's just pick a message order. Here's the message. I'm going to send a message. I typed a message. What are you doing in my system? Exclamation point. I guess I better make it a question mark. A few exclamation points. Okay? So, I'm going to do that. Message complete. I'm going to send it from a ship. And which ship do I have in orbit 11? Let's see. Do I have a ship in orbit 11? You know what? I don't think I can this turn. Anyway, I did have a ship in orbit 11. And I did send the guy a message. But let's just say I did pick a ship. And now I'm going to pick another ship. And there's a ship, 557. It's not the same ship we were looking at, but I can say, "Pat, add the order." The order shows up. It's the 600th order in my order stack. And it's ship 197, my ship. Message order 2, ship number 557. What are you doing in my system? Now, if I wanted to store this, I could archive it. I don't want to, so I'm going to delete the order. I'm going to restore the orders that I have previously written. These are some setup orders, and these are actually obsolete, so I'm going to delete these. Orders 2, and then I'm going to archive them. So clear out the stored message, stored data, all that. So anyway, that's the order writer, basic idea of that. And you know, you click on all these, you can get all this data, and you have to view it in all these little different windows and everything. And I have another way to go about that, which I will be going into in another video. So in the meantime, I think I'm going to play a little more of my theme song.